Hey guys, what's going on? So a couple of days ago, they announced the What If the Book of Secrets is back for a while. Now, we didn't know what this post meant. I thought that I did an entire video about it, but at worst, I thought that because they specifically stated what if, that this wasn't going to be something that they even added to the game. They were just being like, oh, wouldn't this be cool? In the same way that they did this post of cross universe, and it's like, what if Robot was giant, right? They do this all the time, where they do these like what if scenarios, but it doesn't actually mean anything. Now they actually did do it. Into the game, and you could be negative about it, and I will get into the reasons why. And they didn't even announce it in their news, in the news sections that they've been coming out with. It's just like this random secret thing that's in the game right now. And so they announced the Festival of Book of Secrets. Keen-eyed viewers decided to note that it does say that if you get the Book of Secrets, it allows you to increase the level of any unit without spending cards or gold, but doesn't say anything about magic orbs. And so what if you use it, but then they're like, it costs 12 orbs or whatever, whatever the max, I guess 8 or something is the maximum. What if you're trying to upgrade something from 14 to 15 and it doesn't cost any copies, but you still have to give out orbs? It's very curious as to why they didn't say everything, right? It's like, it doesn't just say like, they could have easily just said, you can upgrade the Book of Secrets allows you to upgrade a card from one level to the next, without using any resource. That's an easy thing to say, but they specifically stated cards or gold, not including orbs. It could be a typo, but we'll see. It's basically a collection event. And if you don't want, theoretically, if you don't want the Book of Secrets, you can presumably use your points that you're going to be obtaining to get either a Twins, a Twilight Ranger, or a Frankenstein. Now, one could be, I'll go through some of these other prizes. I like that they put special emotes, things that were in, I believe these were in either previous season passes or maybe Heroes Tavern. But I do know that I really want this Blade Dancer one. That's one of the ones that I've always wanted. Everything else is kind of random. I'm just a Blade Dancer person, so I love that one. I do think this one is funny. Obviously making fun of Terminator. But then also, you have a 0.5% chance of getting this decoration. You have a 0.5% chance of getting this decoration, which is nice if you do happen to get them. And then everything else is basically standard. But I could be negative about this. I could say, what's another thing? There's another, completing it will net you an additional, if you get at least one page, but with no book in your possession, you will gain access to a seasonal quest. Completing it will net you an additional page, and it can be repeated until you assemble the whole book. Now, the idea is that you will trade in points for pages of secrets, as opposed to paying $10 and you get a Book of Secrets. I don't think it's going to work like that. That's why they would say, if you don't have a book, then you will get pages. And if you don't have a complete book after the event, then you will get seasonal quests per month. So presumably, if you spend enough points in this event to get 2 pages, and you need 6 total, then for the next 4 months, then you will eventually add up to getting a full Book of Secrets. I think that's fine. I think you could easily get 1 page. I mean, this is something that you would have never had anyway. There is no more guarantee with star coins, getting, an amount of star coins per month. And especially to add up to 20 star coins. At the very least, this gives you a guarantee in 5 months if you just, did the bare minimum and got 1 page. And I could be negative and say things like that. But I actually want to be positive about this because even beyond the Book of Secrets, getting a Book of Secrets, which I think obviously everybody is going to be chasing, because that's obviously what this is supposed to be. If you don't want the pages of secrets, if you don't want to pour all of your points into a page of secrets, you do also have the opportunity to catch up on event units, being Twins, Twilight Ranger, and Frankenstein. Obviously, Twins is probably the way to go between all three of these. I don't see anybody playing Frankenstein. I do see a little bit of Twilight Ranger play, but that's only because of Necromancer. But Twins generally is very, very strong. I've gone up against just a maxed out Twins, no reincarnation, no Zeus, no Fortuna, no legendary hero. I've gone up against like a Twins, I think, mermaid deck with like 3,000 crit, and he made me do like 500 billion damage, and beat me. I think I was playing Banshee, and I did 500 billion damage, and he still beat me. And he had like 2,000, 3,000 crit, something really low. So even like a regular, like maxed out Twins is very, very strong, even if you don't even have legendary heroes. I think that this is good, though, because it is something that I've wanted for a while. They did a long time ago. You know what? I want to see if I can bring it up like this. A long time ago, there was an event that I was like, why don't you guys do this more often? And it was called the Spring Event. Not the Spring. Oh, you know what? It might be this one. Was it this one? It might have been this one. And even if it's not it, I did pull this up already on YouTube right here. This was the Spring Event. And in the Spring Event, you had the ability to get Banshee, Enchant Sword, and Scrapper. It worked how a regular event works, where you do the collections and whatnot, but they gave you the opportunity to choose when, for the amount of legendaries that you got. Every time you were going to receive a legendary, whether it was in the carousel or with points, you had the ability to pick either a Banshee, an Enchant Sword, or a Scrapper. I thought that this idea was so strong, and they've basically never repeated it ever again until now. From this event, every single event beyond this one, after this one, was new event unit, 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 new event unit. And that gets so tiring after a while because it doesn't matter what you invest in. It feels like 2 months down the line, you just have to invest into this new unit. And then 2 months from then, there's a new, better unit that beats the old unit. And then 2 months after that, it's a new event unit. There is no catch-up mechanic in this game. It's just choosing to not invest into any event unit, or to wait to invest heavily into an event unit, and then 5 months later, 3 new event units have come out. I always wanted them to repeat events like this because it gives players a chance to catch up. So I think that even though this event, obviously most people are going to try to get Book of Secrets, I do like the fact that, one, it's not another event unit. The last event that they did was not an event unit. You could argue that it's Lucia. But the fact that this second event is not a new event unit, a second new event unit, with the Lucia event being like a new event unit, and then this one being another new event unit. I think that not doing event units 2 events in a row is very good for us. With as much shit as like it's very easy to throw at Rush Royale. I do think that the fact that they chose not to do 2 new event units over the course of 2 straight events in a row is a very good positive change. A catch-up event where you can you can get a Twins, which is very good. They could also be like dicks about it, and they could give you like, it could be an event where it's like Bard and Treant, like all the things that are going to phase out. They could have done that. And even that, I still would have said, is very good. But they're giving you really strong options. Twins obviously being the best one, which I didn't think that they would even add for that. But they're also giving you Frankenstein or Twilight Ranger if you want to like boost those, if you are, like chasing those anyway. I think that this event is good. I'm not necessarily invested in a Book of Secrets. I know that that's going to be the main thing that everybody's going to want to get, but I don't think that leveling up one card, one level, is that amazing. Going from maybe 14 to 15, maybe that will feel amazing in 6 months. If you or 5 months, I guess, if you invest into like one page. But I do think that catching up on old event units and having this event not be a new event unit is very good for the community.